Welcome back, everybody. This is your three-man booth. I'm Dan Salem with Phil and Bud, who's our birthday boy today. Happy birthday, Bud. How's it going? Our team got another win for you.
Yeah.
That's what you're getting out of them.
All right.
That's
Well, we won't get into that then. We'll talk about the playoffs because I think that's more interesting. Personally, not that our teams are in it, but I got the Cowboys featured because they're, quote, on a roll, and everyone's like up Dak Prescott's butt for MVP.
Oh.
I'm not buying it quite yet, especially since the Jets beat them, and this is still the same football team. Phil, you're the Giants fan. Let's start with you. I know you hate the Cowboys, but
So I heard something interesting today. Notice how Zeke is not getting the ball as much as a number one running back should be getting the ball. They're doing this because Dak wants a new contract. So how is Dak going to get a new contract? He's going to throw the ball and lead the league in passing yards.
why would they do that for him?
I'm saying that, isn't it a little coincidental that you paid Zeke all this money? You're not you're letting Tony Pollard, do a handful of carries here when you have Zeke, the best running back in the league, and Dak somehow leads the league in passing yards. It's
Devil's advocate, they want Zeke 100% for the playoffs. Why run him into the ground mid-season?
I guess, but Dak is looking for that new contract, and the only way he's going to get a new contract is by putting up stupid statistics. He's not going to get a new contract by putting up mediocre stats, because then they can just go find anybody. That's what I think is going on here. I don't know who's running the the ship on this one, but I heard that today, and it's plausible. It's definitely plausible.
if you take away the Jets game, which he did not play well, but in all fairness, in the Jets game, he was out his two starting left linemen, right? And Cooper only played what, for 4 plays?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And Zeke had a non-existent running day, which, by the way, in all fairness, the Jets have the number 1 rushing defense in the league. So that's not too far stretched from exactly, that it's not crazy to think, right? So if you take away that game, he's been on a roll. And regardless of whether or not you like the Giants or you don't really like, he threw for 440 yards and 4 touchdowns the other day. Touchdowns, whatever. I mean, the guy up in stats with Amari Cooper and who else is their wide receiver?
Michael Gallup.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. He's putting up.
But he has no tight end. He has no wide receiver 3. Zeke is not catching as many balls out of the backfield as he was last year. So, and he's still putting up insane numbers. I guess my point is that maybe he's a lot better of a quarterback than we think he is.
Well, we should find out this week because they're playing the Patriots, who still have a very good defense. I mean, I know they're going to peg this as a Super Bowl matchup, and we all feel Tom Brady's kind of waning right now. And the Cowboys, well, I'm being polite. But so what do we think? What do you think is going to happen this week with these two teams?
I think we're going to see what the Patriots did last weekend. Their defense is going to carry them, and Brady is just going to do enough to win the game because that offense looked bad. They had Julian Edelman throwing touchdown passes.
Well, Brady came out and spoke against the offense, which seems counterproductive if he's the loose, like the bad. I'm breaking on the analogy, but if he's the bad, not the good one in the bunch anymore.
We've been talking about this for weeks about how their offense hasn't looked great and their defense has played awesome. And now we're getting to see a point in their schedule where they're starting to play a little bit more legitimate football teams. And now you're starting to see teams like Baltimore that can score some points, and the New England's offense just can't keep up with them. Like Dallas can score points. They can score points, and their defense has not been as strong as it was last year. The real question will be whether or not the offense for the Patriots is going to be able to keep up, because Dallas is going to score points. I don't think that they're not going to score points.
Well, to be perfectly honest, the Eagles probably should have beat the Patriots, but their offense just looked terrible.
Carson Wentz something's off with Carson Wentz.
Yeah. So, I mean, it seems like Dallas can run away with the NFC East right now because I don't believe in Philadelphia. I mean, if they manage to beat New England, everyone's going to be blowing smoke up their butt. But
that's usually how it works with Dallas, right?
Yeah.
I'm actually going to be rooting for New England this weekend. I don't care what anyone says. I'll be rooting for TB12.
Well, even if Dallas beats the Patriots, I don't think they're the best team in the NFC, not by a long shot. I still like the Saints better. I got to give the 49ers and Seahawks both credit, too, for playing.
49ers have come back to earth. I mean, they played the Cardinals twice, and both of them they could have lost.
Yeah,
they did enough to win. But every other team that San Francisco played, they were literally shutting out. Arizona puts up almost 30 points on them twice.
I got to say, Arizona, though, is kind of like Detroit, where they're better than the record. Both only have 3 wins, which are on par with the Jets, but those are up-and-coming football teams. Denver, too, is a scary team. Like, Denver was shutting out the Vikings, who came around. I like the Vikings, but I don't know if that's more on Minnesota or on Denver, and I feel like Arizona's in that boat where they keep playing teams real close but can't get wins. So,
well, Detroit's a mess right now. With Stafford's going to miss, 6 weeks here with this rib injury. I think it was
basically out for the rest of the season. The only reason why they haven't put him in IR is in case they make the playoffs.
Oh well, they're not.
They won't.
No,
but I don't think they will.
No. Well, so I mean, I know that I agree that San Francisco's come back to earth, but I gotta admit I've been impressed with Kyler Murray in Arizona and their offense this year. So, I mean, they got David Johnson, but then they're working in the other guys. They got like a 2 or 3 running back.
David Johnson didn't even get a carry.
Yeah,
no, they don't need him.
They don't have David Johnson anymore. He's like their third string quarterback or third string running back right now. It feels like.
Right, but they're missing a step, so it's like it's
The moment Chase Edmonds is healthy, David Johnson may not see the field again.
Right.
What a fall from grace, huh?
No, totally. I mean, it happens. I mean, if we want to get into the Jets for a moment, I don't think that Le'Veon Bell is the same player he was 2 years ago by any stretch, and they're trying to minimize his workload so that maybe they can get something for him in the offseason because he's not the same player either.
You know what? Nobody's going to pick up his contract, so the Jets are stuck with him.
You say that, but you'd be surprised.
That's a big contract.
It is. It is.
What are the Jets doing?
Well, they're on a 2-game winning streak. What are you talking about?
You go out and you sign what's arguably the 2 top free agents in the league last year, right? In Bell and Mosley. Right?
Yep.
Isn't that what a fan base, isn't that what we asked them to do?
Absolutely, and I was excited at the time, but McCagnon proved that he's not a good evaluator of situations. So
let's before we want to throw him away, realize that they're playing third string linemen.
I know.
Right? And his running style is not like I'm going to take it and I'm going to run full steam. Yeah. It's I've got to find a hole. And because I said at the beginning of the year, he's going to realize real quick that this isn't the Steelers' offensive line. I think I've been proven right.
Right.
But then people like Bilal Powell legitimately making runs because he's a different kind of runner.
Bell's not a good fit for a team without an offensive line. I agree. And Mosley, I mean, you can't see that injury coming per se. He's a great player.
I don't even know why he hasn't been put on IR. I mean,
yeah, I don't either. They got a lot of players on IR, so
he's played 2.5 quarters. I mean, all season.
Yeah, I mean, they should just throw him in there. He's not coming back. I don't know. But
the funny thing is they're 3-7, and I mean I'm not talking playoffs, but I mean they could at least get to 500.
Oh, absolutely. Well, you know what's super ironic? If they manage to beat Oakland, they are in a great position for that final playoff spot. They have to win out. They have to win out. But Oakland this week if they lose, they're done, obviously. But if Oakland loses to the Jets this week, Oakland might be done. They'd be in a real tough spot at 6-5, having lost the Jets.
You kick yourself in the ass as a Jets fan because they blew that opening game against Buffalo. They should have beaten Miami. Miami was terrible. They should have beaten Jacksonville if they could just figure out how to get a game plan put together. I mean, they've been for as bad as they were in that 4-week stretch, right, where Sam wasn't playing. The last 2 weeks they've looked really, really good.
Yeah. Well, I got to admit, because
Well, I mean, look at the competition too. You played the Giants and the Washington there.
Absolutely.
But you got to play the teams that are on your schedule. I mean,
But that's what we're saying about the Patriots. They had a great, easy schedule. Now they're playing football teams that are legitimate, and they're not doing so well.
But I guess so. This is what I'm looking at, right? Because Phil, you got a rookie quarterback, and you knew this is how the season was going to go for the Giants.
Yep.
Sam Darnold. All I'm hearing from him is that he's telling Adam Gase, "No, I want to do it this way. No, this is what we're doing," and he's taking control and ownership of the offense. So he's got a comfort level now. So that makes me excited because he actually sounds like he's being a leader. When they were losing, he wasn't, and that's the maturity, the next step that I want him to take, because it really bodes well for the offseason and next year. Now we're getting ahead of ourselves, but if the offense remains the same and they don't clean house, then he's going to go in already knowing it, and he can grow, and that's why.
Well, that's the argument against getting rid of all your offensive coaches, because then you're going to have to start a whole new system all over again.
Yep.
And you're going to be in the same boat for the first 5 weeks of next year.
Yeah, the Giants shouldn't do it either, because it would put Daniel Jones in that same position.
And I don't think either one of the coaches are going to get the axe this year. For the situations they were put in this year, it'd be unfair. First of all, it'd be unfair to the players, because again, they have to learn a whole new system all over again. And what do they have? 4 weeks of training camp? That's nothing nowadays. If you had 2-a-days and you had all these, long training camps like you used to, all right, you can get away with it. But it's impossible to do that right now.
And so Baker Mayfield, right? He's had 2 different coaches. And I'm not sure. Now, it all happens to go with how the rest of the season goes for the Browns. That team, trouble finds them. I'm not sure their coach survives the year if they miss the playoffs.
So that's the most undisciplined team in the entire league. I tell you, that's how you have to say it.
So we obviously do these on Tuesday, and that Thursday night game, we haven't talked about in that game.
Oh,
I mean, have you? I mean, both of you guys play football. I mean, I know that high school, but I mean, in all of my years of watching football, I have never in my life seen anything like that before.
So I couldn't bring myself to watch the video because the screenshot featured image of him holding his helmet up in the air and Mason Rudolph going like this. I didn't want to see it hit him in the face. I didn't want to see it because that's.
No, he moved enough out of the way where it hit him, but it kind of. This is my pumpkin helmet. It kind of hit him like this. I mean, he didn't get hit in the forehead or straight on, but he saw it coming. Luckily, thank God he saw it coming.
Yeah. Oh my God, or he'd been in the hospital. Like
he would have been dead.
Yeah. I don't.
Myles Garrett is 6'4", 275 pounds. Think about that.
Yeah.
Use the helmet as a weapon. If he had hit him with the crown of the helmet in the head, poor guy would have gotten killed. He got knocked out 4 weeks ago by Earl Thomas. He got hit in the chin. The guy went limp and fell on the ground. Could you imagine if he got him in the head?
So Garrett's not playing next season, right? Like they're gonna at least ban him a full another year. They got it. Right?
I gotta think he's suspended so he's 6 games here. I would think that he's gonna get suspended for 10 next year to make it that way. It's 16 games.
Okay.
So I think his appeal is tomorrow or Wednesday. Whenever anyone watches
he's gonna lose that.
I thought I read their appeals are on Wednesday.
Why do you?
Of course, he's gonna lose that.
Why do you think the Steelers came out and said we were partially responsible for the brawl too? Why are they taking?
Because Mason Rudolph started the whole thing. As innocent as he looks, he absolutely started the whole thing. He was trying to rip off Myles Garrett helmet in the first place.
All right.
So if you didn't watch the whole video, I mean, that's how it started. Yes, okay. Garrett. It was unfortunately, it was the last play of the game. It was probably too much of a hit on the quarterback. He drove him into the ground, and obviously he took exception to it. But he literally started that by trying to rip his helmet off.
Okay. So they're not suspending him because he didn't get.
So
why aren't they suspending? Why didn't they give Rudolph a game?
I don't know.
Well,
clearly they're not because I guess he's playing Sunday.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Because if you're going to suspend everybody that starts a little tussle, half the league will be suspended.
Yeah.
There's a fight every game. There's a fight or some all the teams get together, but no one's there's no fisticuffs going around here.
That's true. Very rarely. Not hockey. So.
Well, they use that guy, but what's the hockey guy's name that he killed another guy, right?
Oh.
Hit him with a stick.
Whoa. He didn't kill him.
I thought he killed him.
No, he didn't kill him.
I was wrong.
He essentially ended his career.
All right. He killed his career.
It was Todd Bertuzzi against I forgot the first guy's name, but Moore from Colorado. Basically, sucker punched him from behind, drove his head into the ice. There was also McSorley hit Donald Brashear in the head with a stick.
That's the one I'm thinking of, McSorley.
That was back in the, I want to say the mid '90s. Guy basically hit him right in the temple.
Yeah.
Boom, went right down. Donald Brashear's not working at a Wendy's apparently in Canada.
Yeah, that's McSorley was the guy I was thinking. I knew he hit him in the head with a stick.
Like a Happy Gilmore story.
Yeah, it's like he took his skate off and tried to use it as a weapon. But anyway, I mean that's
both of those guys, Todd Bertuzzi and McSorley. Oh my lord, got charges put against them.
Oh wow. Oh yeah, makes sense because it's pretty rough.
Yeah.
Well,
but for my benefit, because I got a couple of Browns on my fantasy team here, I need them to perform. The Browns' schedule, the last 5 weeks of the season, it is cupcake. I mean, they got Cincinnati, they got Miami, I think is on there. They got some cream puffs coming up.
Are you honestly feeling good about them though?
For my purposes, yes. For the weeks I need them, yes.
Okay.
So they have Miami, Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Arizona, Baltimore, Cincinnati.
Right. So for my purposes, for the fantasy playoffs, they play Cincinnati and Arizona those weeks.
Okay. Well, I guarantee you that they're not going to beat
gold. Those are gold.
You got to make it to those last 2 weeks, Phil. Your team sucks right now.
Yeah. Well,
he told me he's 8-3. That's not sucking. My team sucks. I had 2 wins until this week, and then I blew out the first place team by 50 points and won the week.
You gotta stop drafting Cam Newton over there.
I have Sam Darnold and Jacoby Brissett now. Thank you very much. I had the player I drafted. Both picked them off waivers. That's how my team went. Philip Rivers has been killing me as he's been killing the Chargers, and 4 seasons later, and they're out of the playoffs basically.
I'm glad you brought him up because I wanted to mention him because I completely forgot. It's about time, everyone killed Eli for the last 2 years of his career and not playing very well. Ben's kind of on the same cusp. And finally, Rivers is showing his age, and everyone's like, they're making excuses for him. It's like Rivers is doing exactly what Eli was doing at the end of his career, but everybody wanted to throw Eli under 4 buses.
Well, Rivers had a really good season last year. So this is the first year that
he looks bad.
He's looked bad. I think Eli had like 1 bad season under his belt before everyone really started tearing him apart. So I don't know what's going to happen to Rivers next year, but
they might
he doesn't have a contract, so
right. Yeah, he hasn't earned a new one. That's for sure.
No. They might be looking for a quarterback in this draft too.
You know what's interesting? Tom Brady doesn't have a contract either, and the Patriots are covering his withering, but he's in the same boat. I mean, he had a good first month of the season, but he's just basically doesn't make mistakes, but he's not doing anything either.
And we know Bill Belichick will get rid of you if you're not productive. But do you think they're going to hang on to Brady a little longer than they should because of everything he's done?
If they win another Super Bowl this year, they are going to strongly encourage him to retire.
Oh, I would. He should retire on the podium if that happens.
Yeah, but look at his ego, man. Look at his ego.
Had 7 Super Bowls. How much more of an ego do you? You'd be the all-time winningest quarterback in NFL history.
Hear him talk. He thinks he's Mahomes.
They're not winning the Super Bowl this year. I'll tell you who's winning.
You're right. That is true, too. And by the way, Mahomes, you want to talk about taking a step back, and I love watching Mahomes, but, man, he's taking a huge step back right now.
You think it's his injury, or is he –
I think he's still a little hurt. I mean, he doesn't look like he's very mobile either. He had that 1 run yesterday in the first half, and other than that, I mean, he basically didn't use his legs at all. I mean, I don't know how much – I mean, I've never dislocated my kneecap, but I can't imagine that that's not painful, and you're able to come back and play competitive football in 2 weeks.
And it's gotta hurt his deep ball because he's got to plant and throw it.
And his right knee. So
isn't it amazing? Isn't it amazing all these players that get these massive injuries? Kneecaps out of place and high ankle sprains. They're back in like 3 weeks.
How do I do a shooting up with the needle This is
I guess.
They get a cortisone shot right in the area, and it's numb. They don't feel it.
Oh man, but geez, it's just. I mean, I said these guys are real men. If we had these injuries, we'd be done till spring.
Well, you know what's silly? They got this whole list of banned substances, and then they got this whole list of stuff that they're allowed to take so that they can play through this pain and play through these injuries. It's not logical. It's just stupid. It's just silly because he probably shouldn't be playing. But he is. So are you guys still buying Kansas City? I mean, the last month of the season is going to be telling. I don't know if Jack. I don't know.
He pulled a hammy yesterday,
but
I'm saying Tariq Hill pulled a hammy yesterday, so that's another weapon that they don't have.
Yeah, and Watkins is not anything. He's disappeared.
Watkins had one good week on week 1, and he's been nothing for 11 weeks.
Now, Kelsey had a good game last night, but
that was his first. It was his first touchdown against the Chargers in his history, in his career.
Oh, really? I was gonna say that might have been the first touchdown he scored all season. He's had a terrible season.
No, there was. I want to say it was something. I remember seeing it before the game, and they mentioned it again. I think that was his first touchdown ever against the Chargers.
That's funny. Interesting. Well,
very interesting.
So, I think that Kansas City can hold on to that division because I just don't think the Raiders are great. I think that they're slightly above average, but
the Raiders are too hot and cold. I mean, they play great one week and then they play awful another week. Like as a Jet fan, we have to hope that this is their week to play awful.
Well, and
their defense is not great, but their offense could certainly put up some points. But the way the Jets' defense has been playing lately,
I can't believe the Jets have I can't believe they have the number 1 rushing defense. Like it blows me away that that's the truth. And
they give up an average of 79 yards a game.
Yeah, well, and that's Oakland's strength. So if they can shut them down, that'll be huge. So are you? I mean, obviously Baltimore's playing great. Are you buying them throughout the rest of the season here? Because this level of play is tough to maintain. I mean,
we didn't think Mahomes was going to do it last year, and he threw 50 touchdowns. We didn't think he was going to do that, but I mean,
they've got to play the. Sorry, Phil. They got to play the Rams and the 49ers the next 2 weeks. So those will be a test. And
on the road? Are they on the road, both?
The Rams is on the road.
All
and
right.
then they play San Francisco at home. Then they got to play Buffalo, the Jets, Cleveland, and Pittsburgh. So technically, they should win their last 4 games. So, I mean, the way he's playing, he's just – everyone knocked him and they didn't think he was going to be able to throw the ball. He throws the ball beautifully, like a tight spiral into coverage. And what he's doing with his legs, nobody's seen it since Michael Vick. Nobody.
Yeah, easily. So, I mean, they're easily the team to beat then. I don't know if there's another AFC team on par with them right now. Not even close.
And their defense is playing great too. So, I mean, Houston only scored 7 points?
Yeah.
And they shouldn't even had those.
Right.
That's a shame. Houston looked like the best team in the South. They got humiliated. So,
and they score 40 points with ease.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to say who's going to come out of the NFC, but it's hard to think anybody else but the Ravens will come out of the AFC right now. I mean, New England's going to try to say something about it, but
I don't think they. I mean, I think you saw what they could do to New England. I mean, it's.
Yeah, I mean the playoffs are another animal. Cold weather. I mean, if I don't know, the Patriots don't have home field right now or mid. So.
No, they're the number 1 seed.
Oh, they still are because they're
both
9-1,
right?
They're 9-1.
Oh, they're 9-1. They're 9-1. So if the Patriots lose one more game, that'll really set them back because they want to play at home in the playoffs. But that'll make a big difference. Snow changes a lot of things. So,
okay. Yeah, the NFC is pretty wide open. You can probably mention 5 or 6 teams, and each one of them have a case.
I forgot. Yeah, I completely forgot about the Packers just because they were on a bye. They're still good.
Their defense
are on Monday Night Football. Are they on Monday or Sunday Night Football this week? I think they're on Sunday night.
Yeah.
So you get to see them front and center.
They are playing at San Francisco.
Right. So that
should be a good game.
Good test.
Yeah.
I think that's the Sunday night game.
Okay.
Well, that right?
Sunday night game? Yeah, I think that's what Phil said. So next week's Thanksgiving week. We can decide if we want to do a show or not. I'm not traveling anywhere, but I think the week after it'll be the first week of December. We should really take stock of our preseason picks and see how many of them are actually going to make the playoffs. We don't have to see how far they're going to go, but at least my Super Bowl pick has a shot at making the playoffs in Indianapolis. Atlanta has rebounded, Phil. Their defense has turned a corner. I wasn't surprised that they did it again. They're going to be a dangerous team down the stretch. Not the
everybody was licking their chops to play Atlanta. Not so much anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I think they're too far back at this point.
Absolutely, but they're playing upset city the rest of the way. I mean,
they're not a doormat. They're not Cincinnati or Washington. Man, Washington looked bad. I know Bud wrote about it. That game was not as close as that final score indicated. Washington was bad.
It's all garbage time point. The Jets completely dominated them. They had 26 total yards in the first half.
It was unbelievable. That's the first Jets game I can remember watching in maybe 2 seasons where I knew they were going to win, and I never doubted it.
No, I didn't. I honestly didn't even watch the game that intently because I knew they were going to roll.
What?
You know what that feels as a Jet fan? You're like, okay, it's a win this week. I don't know if I've ever felt that way in my life.
I was glued to the TV because we were dominating, and how rare is that? I turn away when I know they're going to lose.
Dwayne Haskins is terrible.
Yeah, he doesn't have a good supporting cast, but he needs a lot of work, and he's gonna have a new coach next year. That's gonna set him back another season.
I mean, he stares down his receivers. He was very mobile in college. He just stands there like a statue.
Yeah.
But the Jets sacked him 6 times.
So a lot of those sacks, he should have thrown the ball away. That's something that he can be taught. Now, who knows if he's going to get the right coaching staff to teach him. He throws a nice football. He's just not – I mean, he's got to work on his accuracy and his decision-making, which is a lot to ask. But
those are 2 key attributes of being a quarterback.
I know. Well, that's what everyone – you hope the rookie has it, but most of the rookies got to work on it. That's why I allow him to throw high pick numbers. But yeah, he's I don't have high hopes for his career at this point. Let's just leave it at that.
So for a year, the Dolphins have been tanking for Tua.
Ooh, yeah.
Right?
That's a real shame.
Now listen, the doctors came out and said that he's going to make a full recovery. They didn't come out and say that he's going to make a full recovery to play football. And it's the same injury that Bo Jackson had, and it essentially ended his football career. He was still able to play baseball, but he was not able to play football. Do you think we see Tua playing football again? And do you think that he goes back to college? Because it would be stupid for him to come out. He may not even get drafted.
So when is he going to be healthy enough? He won't be healthy enough to play in the Senior Bowl, or he's not. A senior, but he won't be healthy enough to play in any of the anything the rest of the year, right?
He's done.
Will he be able to go to pro day?
6 months, all right. Wasn't it 6-month recovery?
6-month recovery to live life, Phil.
Yeah, no. But to get to Dan's question, the Pro Bowl or the Senior Bowl is in March or April, right?
So here's my feeling. I think that he should go back to college because he needs to prove that he can still play football. And because I agree, this hip injury, that's scary. But if he's healthy and can perform at pro day, which pro day tells lies, how well all he has to do is stand there and throw an accurate pass. That might be enough to make him go into the draft. There's not a lot of competition at quarterback this year.
But if the guy can't run, and I mean, the offense that he has built in Alabama is based off of his arm strength and mobility. If he can't run, how is he going to be drafted? I don't. Maybe.
These GMs.
I'm always the best.
These GMs, right? So all he's going to do is say, you know what? I'm not going to run. I'm still recovering from my hip injury. Let me throw dimes for 15 minutes. And he's just going to go boom, 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 boom. And they're going to go. I mean, and it's Tua. He's got a name. It's early enough that he can
go back to college. I think he should go back to college and prove himself for 1 year if he's able to play football. The last thing he wants to do is roll the dice and get drafted, and then he never plays again. Now, that's fine. Because he'll collect whatever little bit of money that he can get.
Well, isn't that – well, he's going to have to make the decision, though. If he goes back to college and can't play in college, then he gets nothing.
Well, he better hope that Alabama education is getting him someplace. Chances are he's probably not getting an MD from there.
I mean, he could go back to college and switch sports if he can't play football, but it's a tough decision. But he was the hands down number one pick. He probably falls out of the top 10, right? If he goes.
Notice 2 weeks ago when Tua, he rolled an ankle or something, or he had a different injury, and all of a sudden Miami starts winning games.
It's
interesting because besides the way it is right now, Cincinnati's gonna have the number one pick. Cincinnati's awful; they're not gonna win a game all year. So Miami's not even gonna have the number one pick.
But they just drafted a quarterback, so they don't need a quarterback.
Oh, Miami?
No, Cincinnati.
Oh, Cincinnati.
That's a fourth rounder. Either they don't. Do you think they really like that guy? Another Allen, whatever. I don't know.
But to your point, Dan, if they don't want to, if they didn't draft him and they didn't put equity in him, then why are they even playing him? Just keep playing Andy Dalton. You don't think Andy Dalton is better than this guy that they're throwing out on the field?
They can
try to lose.
So no, they're absolutely trying to lose. But I think that's twofold though, because you can see what you got in this fourth round rookie and see if he matures and develops over the end of the season. Also, Andy Dalton's stock and trade value remains high if he doesn't look bad on the field for 2 months. You forget that and just remember he's the red rifle. So he's an asset they can dump like AJ Green. I don't know why they haven't never traded Green, but
they should have traded Green. They absolutely should have traded AJ Green.
I mean, Cincinnati's not the best run franchise. I don't know what they're going to do with their coach.
You know where AJ Green's going to go next year?
New England.
New England, exactly.
Yeah, but who will be their quarterback?
Well, they better figure that out, because if Tom is he's clearly regressed and he has no contract next year. So even if they re-sign him for 1 year, they need to figure out what the future is, because the quarterback of the future is not on that roster.
Well, you say that, but every time Brady's gone out, their backups come in and look stellar. You don't think they like their backup right now?
Brian Hoyer's their backup, isn't it? Brian Hoyer?
No, Brian Hoyer is the backup in Indianapolis now. I don't even know who the backup is.
He?
The backup has played 2 plays. He threw an interception against the Jets, and Bella Dick pulled him out of the game.
Yeah. No, I mean, they do got to figure it out. I mean, they'll probably draft a late-round quarterback this year and see if the guy pans out. They do that often. But it'd be stupid for Brady to go anywhere else. He needs an excellent offensive line. New England has one of the best, the best in football.
He's not going anywhere else. He's either staying where he is or he's retired. There's no chance he goes anywhere else.
But why does New England want to re-sign him for one more season if he can't play?
No, we don't know that they are going to. He might get that one last, hey, thanks for everything you've done for us in the last 20 years. Here's one more contract. Here's one more year. Just the
Patriots don't give those deals out. Now there's already rumblings that Gronk's going to come back next year.
That's not happening. Stop. That was such a blown out of proportion announcement. Who cares? He's hosting a Super Bowl party. Who cares?
No, I'm just meaning like if Gronk comes back to play for the Patriots with Tom Brady in one last season, that makes sense. Otherwise, I don't know why they want him.
Gronk's done.
There's better quarterbacks than Tom Brady right now because Brady's he plays mistake-free football. But, I mean, Alex Smith's going to be coming off his injury, and I don't think the Redskins are going to – maybe the Redskins will go back to Alex Smith. I don't know. But
I forgot about Alex Smith. You're right.
Yeah, well, they kept flashing him in the booth on Sunday. He looked in pain. But poor guy.
We've gone 30 minutes here, and we haven't even mentioned Colin Kaepernick.
Oh,
why bother?
Well,
is there a reason why we haven't?
Because I think we vehemently disagree, and I don't feel like arguing. We could do a whole show on Kaepernick. I read an interesting article about the NFL's legal document they wanted him to sign and why he refused to sign it, and it was super interesting. But we don't have enough time to get into it right now. Maybe we'll do a separate show on the Cap experience. He's not playing.
Thanks for watching BuzzChomp.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Subscribe and share.
Share.
Woo.